So today I'd like to talk to you about the 100 monkey effect. Some of you may have heard of it already. But in the 1950s, some monkeys were being researched by scientists between 1952 and 1958. And one of the younger female monkeys took a sweet potato, I think it was, and realised that it didn't taste good with sand on it and washed it in the water, and that it tasted better when it was cleaned. And that monkey started to show other monkeys what it was doing, and basically they all started to learn how to wash the food before they ate it because it tasted better. And the researchers didn't expect what happened to actually happen. By the end of the research in 1958, they realised that even the monkeys that were on a completely different island to the first monkeys that washed the food, they were washing the food as well. So how did that information get from one island to the next? It's not like one of the monkeys swam across the ocean to the other island and showed them how to do it. It's passed on in the ethers by something called morphic resonances. So basically underneath everything, air, fire, earth, water, the elements, is ethers. And these are like strings in string theory in physics. And the information is carried from one place to another through what we see as empty space. It's carried through the ethers, and that's how the other monkeys found out how to wash their food. So if you think about what's going on the planet at the moment, more and more people are waking up to the fact that we are the Godhead when we come together, and how when we meditate together we can create massive change on the planet, and we can send out those good vibes all over the world. It's the same kind of thing. We've already reached critical mass in the sense that enough people are awake now for that snowball effect to start happening. More and more people are waking up to the fact that they're not happy in their lives for whatever reason and started to make changes in their lives. Many people are meditating now. It's not one of those things that in the movies they try to make it all these boring people that meditate. It's, a waste of time. It's not a waste of time. The human mind was built in order to be able to do that, in order to be able to go into other levels of consciousness and other levels of peace, because we live in a chaotic world, constantly being bombarded with information, and it's important that we learn to quieten the mind down. People that are struggling with sleep, for example, if you can learn to meditate before you go to bed in the evening and just master the art of ignoring your thoughts. It's not about making them go away completely. That's a really difficult thing to do, and it can take years and years and years to be able to learn that. But it doesn't take that long to be able to learn to just go within, be in your heart center, close your eyes, and just ignore your thoughts. Let them pass through, don't follow them. It's called no mind. It's just ignoring it completely so that you're completely present, completely centered in yourself. And basically you're learning to shut the door on the day that you've had and everything else that's on your mind, what you need to do tomorrow. Keep a list. It just makes life so much easier if you write it down and tick them off every day. So what's happening at the moment is because more and more people are, what we say, waking up to what's going on in the world and taking back their power, this is spreading. I'm bumping into people all the time that you would never expect to be doing meditation and things like that, and they are. People are doing it. You don't even need to be, sitting like some guru with your hands like this and humming and chanting or anything like that. Meditation is walking in the park. Meditation is walking in the woods or in the beach. Meditation is being out on your kayak or your paddleboard, just being in the moment, completely present, not thinking about the past, not thinking about the future, just being in this moment and cherishing that moment. It takes a while to get into it, but once you do, you really start to notice a difference in your life. Things that may come along that have bothered you in the past, they just pass you by and you don't even react to it anymore. and things that maybe even that you wanted to respond to, it's like, that's not important enough for me to respond to. Just letting things go and just being in that inner peace. It's a really great place to be. There's also something called Maharishi effect, which I've talked about in the past as well, and that's where a Maharishi guru, I think it was in the 70s, they got a community to meditate together, and they noticed that the crime rate went down, domestic violence went down during those meditation periods, and how it affected the whole community. And they did the math, and the math was the square root of 1% of the population of the planet. Well, based on 7.8 billion people, that's round about 8,500, 9,000. I like to see the figures 8888 because that's 4 infinity symbols. So if you get a group of people, that's just under 9,000 people, to meditate together, that overrides the whole 7.8 billion people on the planet. Just think about that for a minute. That's not a lot of people. You can get that many people meditating together. We can change the outside world in minutes if we had a big enough group of people working together. I started a Patreon channel a couple of months ago in the hope of getting a good group of people together so that we can make a difference. And we do come together once a month at the moment. There's not that many people in the group yet, but I'm hoping more and more people are going to find out about it. So if you've never tried meditation or healing, I hope you can join my Patreon channel. Normally I just come on, say hi, everyone gets comfortable, and then I open the one portal and we have a release, a healing release of whatever needs to be released, and then we sit quietly together and meditate for 20 minutes in no mind. And it's really powerful because we visualize the world without crime and a world without homelessness and, starvation and all the nasty things that are going on out there. And we're holding that vision together as a group. And it doesn't matter whether there's, 50 or 100 or 1,000, it's making a difference. But when the numbers are bigger, obviously the difference is much more powerful. So if you've never tried healing or meditation or anything like that, please do visit my Patreon channel. Even if you open up a free membership for now and just try it, you can try one of the videos for free on there, one of the healings, and see if it works for you, if it's a fit. And maybe join if you like what you're experiencing there. But meditation is one of the most important things that we can learn. Everybody is mind, body and spirit. And I think one of the biggest problems related to depression and anxiety and things like that in the world is the fact that we're not feeding our spirits. Most people live in boxes, staring at a box all evening. They work in boxes, staring at boxes. There's no meditation time. There's not enough time in nature. There's not enough time just being quiet and alone and peaceful without being bombarded with electromagnetic frequencies and the noise and the pollution and everything else that's out there. And the human spirit is not happy as a result. Our spirit needs to be maintained, the same as our physical body needs to be maintained. And meditation is the key to that. I think if it was taught in schools, it would make a big difference to the behaviour and the intellect of the students, because they're coming into the classroom, and if they started the day with a meditation, they started their afternoon after lunch break with a meditation, it would calm everyone down and get them into the zone to be able to absorb. We all learn much faster when we're in theta brainwave frequency. That's a meditative state of consciousness. That's the state of consciousness we're in till we're 7 years old, 24/7. And we're sponges when we're in that level of consciousness. So if you haven't tried meditation, I highly recommend it. And just have a think about the Maharishi effect and the 100 monkey effect. The more and more of us that do that, that frequency is going to spread around the earth. And eventually, the larger percentage of us will be doing these meditations, and we're the ones that are making a difference to the whole. Just like the monkeys on the other island that figured out, they picked it up, it was in the air, that if they washed the food, it tastes much better. It's as simple as that. And if we wash ourselves with peace and calm and tranquility and healing, and I spoke about that before, you don't need to be sick to have healing. We've all got stuff. We've all got stuff going on. It starts when we're born. And I did a video about birth trauma a couple of weeks ago. But we get together and we all start doing this, we're going to have a massive positive effect on the whole planet. Not just the people, but the animals, the plant kingdom, nature. All of it is affected when we bring that frequency of peace and bliss and pure love into our consciousness and just sit in it for a little while together or on our own. So I hope that's been interesting, and I look forward to speaking to you all again soon. Have a great weekend, and I will see you all next week. Bye for now.